Hello everyone, Sigillum here once again, and welcome to another episode of Pillars of Eternity. It's my utmost pleasure to play once again this game, and in the previous episode, if someone is not acquainted with the situation, I went over the introduction, character creation, and mostly the first part of the game. So without further ado, let's continue. We stopped at the Valewood, or Valenwood, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what adventures are ahead of us. Let's do the fast mode. Since the previous episode was a little long for YouTube videos, I will probably shorten this episode to 1 hour or something like this. We have to go to Gilded Vale, so probably this will be our next stop for the finish of the second episode. Oh shit. Let's see, Mindwave.
Let's go.
Pretty bad actually.
Almost.
Okay, our range combat is obviously not working, so we'll switch to melee. Oh, come on, dude. Okay.
Ready to sleep like the dead.
Black Sun. A common sight in Deerwood, Black Sun is fashioned from sunred liquor and the boiled sap from Glenfadden trees. It's known to lend a sense of heightened alertness to the user, though it leaves one feeling worn and lethargic once it wears off. Okay, typical alcohol, I presume. Let's take all, then we'll sort this later. Okay, I already can foretell what's going to happen. We'll have to protect this dwarf from the forcing mercenaries or bandits, or whatever their name is. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, help. Okay. Now combat. We have our bow equipped, so we're going to try and get a hit to the outlaw. Okay, we have focus now. For Whisper of Treason. Okay. Now let's switch combat to a melee weapon. A little loud, a little too loud for my taste. Shit, we're actually gonna lose. Okay, we still have on our side.
Let's go.
Oh, come on. Okay, we're probably gonna die.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's try and jump her again. We have no more heals.
Let's go.
We're gonna die.
Let's go.
Let's try to blind her.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's try and blind her again.
Let's go.
One thing. Ooh.
Rest.
Okay. This was actually pretty hard, I must tell.
Can't move now.
Okay, we'll have to...
Hail and well met.
By the flame, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. Listen, next time you're in Gilded Vale, step by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasha know just what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Okay, you have earned a reputation. Reputations can be held with communities or factions in the Eastern Reach and will affect how members of that group respond to you. Okay, I held him, so we will be welcomed in the inn gladly. Let's see if we have some better weapons. Medium armor. It has better damage reduction, but nothing special. Stiletto. Fast, fast. Pierce and slash. Let's try it this way. Since we don't have any protection whatsoever, maybe it's better like this to gain more focus by dual wielding. Okay, this goes on the cape. Helm. Open helm. Okay, we'll transfer this to stash just to have some room. Leave the lockpicks. I think there are some wolves here. Major fatigue. Oh. Okay, let's camp. Camping allows your party members to restore lost health and receive a camping bonus. Okay, since we have survival as our heal multiplier, okay, we can choose one move speed, racial accuracy against beast, primordial, spirit, vessel, wilder. Let's do damage reduction. Okay, obviously we have some visions. Okay. We can continue. Okay, the switch to a weapon is instant, so that's positive. Oh, come on, dude. Finish this one off. Okay. Let's try Whisper of Treason on this one. Okay, it works. Okay, 12 focus. Now let's blind this one.
Let's go.
Huh?
Okay. That went okay. But still we are not exactly a tanky fellow. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Scale the wall. Divide a handhold upon one of the large stones and start to pull yourself up, but the uneven bricks and odd angle of ascent make the climb difficult, and after a short distance your arms begin to burn too fiercely. You are forced to drop back down to the ground. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Okay, we will need some proper tool for the ascension. Either we will find it somewhere in the surroundings, or maybe even buy it at the trader. With double speed. Shattered pieces of a crater strewn across the dirt, along with a few muddy vegetables. Okay. Shit, 30 damage. Let's do raw damage. Why it's taking so long?
Let's go.
Spell. Okay. The grass is still flattened behind the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbages, potatoes and squash have been overturned and abandoned. Camping supplies, full of tangled fruit. Okay, we have another camping supplies for our rest. Okay, this is a cave, I think, that contains a rather fearful bear, which is some kind of a mini boss from the last time I played this game.
Good day to you.
This man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. Greetings, he says, a little breathless. On your way south, is it? He wipes his brow, turning to face you. The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think. Our caravan was attacked. I've been trying to get to Gilded Vale. Hard luck, and I'm sorry to hear it. You should be fine from here. There's no missing the Vale if you keep to the road and you haven't far to walk. Okay, but you'll want to keep clear of this place after that. We were just attacked north of here, me and a friend of mine. We came out here to hunt some deer. Came up on a bear instead, of course. Great, monstrous thing. And Pearly, he didn't make it. I don't know what I'll tell his wife. In any case, this forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Who are you? Name is Nanton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. In any case, this forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Okay, repeating response. Where did you find this bear? In a cave, a ways up that way. I was correct. I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life. I would hate to hear it as well. Farewell, my friend. Let's go to the town. Now we can travel to Gilded Vale. Just a moment. Let's see this. Okay, this will probably be explored when we climb up. Let's go here. We haven't quick saved in a while. Okay, this is all explored. Okay. Let's see this.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Okay. Do you welcome everyone this way? Are you mad? No wonder this place looks half empty. Probably this. Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree. A bunch of dead bodies here.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
Okay.
I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst. His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with a Biowak. Is there someone in town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Sorry, I was drinking some water.
But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. You said something about Hollowborn and Wavedwind's legacy before. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now. Children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease, some say they are a punishment from the gods. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Badesman's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. I see. Lord Radric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. Okay, the story is that some children are born without souls in Deerwood, and Lord Radric has some extreme measures against it by simply killing them, as if it was some kind of a ordinary plague. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near the ruins. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Engwitten ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barrett, have mercy, we certainly have. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a bivouac. If you'd been that close to a bivouac, you wouldn't be standing here. And guess what? I am.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What happened? I will know more details when the messengers arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps, but that is not your concern. What do you mean? You come to us as a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barrett must be redoubled. I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest, the inn or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards, I will know more soon enough. Okay, farewell. After surviving an explosion outside of the ruins of Sealand Lease, I experienced a vision. Since then I have been hearing sounds with no source and seeing things that aren't there. Okay, we have also, I haven't shown you this, but a cyclopedia. Bestiary with all of the creatures that we encountered so far. It's some amazing illustrations of them. Also, some stats about them, which will probably be discovered more as we play through the game. Also, look at this, affliction and injuries, all of the details here. Good thing that you can look one of these up whenever you wish to. Wrenched shoulder, wrenched knee, unconscious, twisted ankle, for fuck's sake. Character statistics, lore. Listen to this. Saints War. Began as a peasant revolt in Red Ceres, led by a farmer named Waidwen, who claimed to be the living vessel of the god Eotus. After overthrowing the Red Syrian government, Waidwen invaded the neighboring Deerwood, where he was defeated, destroyed by a weapon dubbed as a Godhammer bomb. Eotus has not been heard from since. Let's see who Eotus is. God of rebirth, redemption, dawn, spring and light, traditionally shown as a man bearing a candle and wearing a silver crown. Believed to have possessed the body of a Red Syrian farmer Waidwen during the Saints' War and been destroyed along with Waidwen at the end of the war. He mentioned some other god, Berat, god of death, cycles, doorways, mortality and inevitability, the keeper of the cycle of life and death. Berat is thought to seek to claim the lives of those who have lived past their time. According to folklore, Berat is seen most often in the form of the Pallid Knight or the Usher, two skeletal characters who lead such people to their deaths by way of challenge or trickery. We have a bunch of gods, also equipment, locations. Air Glanfad. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Let's see who the Glanfadans are. A territory comprised of the forest southeast of Vale River, populated indigenously by a group of loosely affiliated tribes, collectively known as Glanfadans, and governed by a council of its 6 most powerful tribes. Air Glanfad is home to a large number of ruined Engwitten sites which Glanfadans hold sacred. The ruins have been at the center of a number of large-scale conflicts with their wooden colonies, whose settlements often encroach on Glanfadan territory and who frequently seek to plunder the ruins for their relics. Adra, a shell-like organic material that is that green stuff, which almost looks like a crystal of some sorts. A shell-like organic material sought after by artisans because it is easy to shape, and by animenses because of its unique ability to draw in, hold and channel souls. Okay, we have some tips. That's it for today's lesson. We reached the Gilded Vale. I'm afraid I still can't help you find residence here. Lord Radrick's son was deemed a hellborn. This makes it even more fraud. Okay. Urgit. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers and notes, half erased by the rains.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Strange way to talk about your dead. Half the town's up there now, seems like. No right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Okay, we'll leave this interaction for later. Things are about to get worse now. The crops are blighted, the legacy is upon us. This place is cursed. Let's find some shelter. Let's first quick save. A lot. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Try to settle this down, which obviously doesn't work in real life, but One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. We're humble folk, but we're no fools, not like he thinks, mocking us while he shelters in our village. We don't take to that kind of talk from foreigners, especially not adherents.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. Yes, and why is that? If someone's beating you as obviously as he is, it's generally wisest to walk away. Because... okay, this is actually a threat. Let's go for the intellect, which is our highest stat. They look at each other. One of the men gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here, because we're not going anywhere. Okay, a conflict postponed. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts, though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you know the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Let's keep our secrets for now. Only a biohack.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? Like you said, I'm also a settler.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization.
You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Of course. Just how did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Oh, that. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. It happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I see. For which I am grateful. Let's discuss something else, shall we? I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
We need some people.
Yeah.
Guys, we need some people.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see his... He's obviously a wizard or a sorcerer. Dazzling lights. Fan of flames. Sunless grasp. Minor missiles. Arcane assault. Okay, that's for... Let's see his grimoire. Creates a duplicate of the caster to distract enemies, granting the caster high deflection bonus until he or she is hit or crit. The caster has become so cold to freeze what they touch, does freeze damage to a target and reduces its accuracy. This would be nice for protection of the wizard. Wizards have the ability to learn a staggering number of spells, but they are always limited by the capacity of their grimoires. At any given time, a grimoire may only contain 4 spells of each level. Click on a spell in the right panel to remove it from the grimoire. Add spells to empty slots by clicking on the spell in the left panel.
Huh?
Okay. Let's go to the inn. Let's do a quick save. Okay, that dwarf told us about Pasha.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to the innkeeper looks up. Oh, it's you. Denfritz told us what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Denfritz said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back to work in the kitchen. So what would you like? Okay, I like a room, some reliable help, anyone looking for work. Like to know more about the Black Hound, okay, the history of the inn, and trading option. I like to know more about the Black Hound. Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been there for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We got a lot of new faces in here too. Fewer than we used to, I'll admit. Okay, we gained some experience. Denfritz, the big draw. I'm sure we'll get the big crowds back again in no time. We used to work the tables actually until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure of what happened to him. Even left his poor hound behind. That's the name you see, the Black Hound. He's still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today. Unless you're fond of cold porridge. Let's see this. I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Oh. Well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience, but we do have certain sorts coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone on, I'd be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. Okay. That's actually hiring a party member, so we don't need that. Inns allow characters to rest without using camping supplies. Cheap rooms are usually available, but if you have a copper to spend, you may consider the more expensive option. The bonuses they provide last for a long time and affect the entire party. Okay, we'll leave this for now. We'll probably sell the stuff. Camping supplies. We will definitely need these. Let's purchase 2 pieces for now. Retrain character. Okay. 6 maximum. Okay. From the party manager screen you can see what your allies are up to when they aren't in the party. If you have assigned them to adventures, you can see how long it will take for them to complete their assignments. Recalling a companion or adventurer from a mission before it is completed will forfeit all of the potential rewards for that assignment. Okay, let's see what do we have here. Ooh. Let's pillage some stuff. Okay, we have some stories, books, something similar to Elder Scrolls. Let's go here. Maybe Tenfrit has something to say useful. Ah, it's you, my savior. It's so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. The party has gained a recipe, savory pie. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in the travels. Spoons hang by the fire, coated in brownish gunk.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some beer. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potion, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack, one item out with the other, careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears ache from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Oh shit, this is deep. This is deep. Another one. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Also. Okay, something about some hunting.
Yeah.
Let's see what's upstairs. Level up. Sure. Let's level up. The increased consumable duration. Okay, we will use consumables, right? But we will also use scrolls. Or maybe mechanics. Cipher. Okay, we are also based on mechanics. A higher athletic score increases the effect of second min. Okay, let's do some athletics also. Bounces psychic energy harmlessly off the target and onto the closest nearby enemy, causing pierce damage and violently pushing them backwards. Amplified trust. Mental binding. Overwhelms the target mental ability to communicate with its own body, paralyzing it and causing its soul to emit a shockwave that can leave nearby enemies stuck. Stock characters are rooted, able to act but unable to leave their current location. Dexterity is reduced by 2, accuracy is reduced by 5 for all sources. Reflex and deflection are reduced by 20. Pretty nice. Mind blades. Co-ops the target sets and generally using a slashing blade of force that attacks them before leaping up to 5 additional targets. Phantom foes. Invades the minds of targets in the area of effect, causing them to believe they are surrounded by phantom foes, leaving them flanked. Deflection is reduced by 10. Not such a great spell, considering that the mental binding, if they are stuck, you have deflection of 20. Psycho Empiric Shield. The Cypher uses the target's strength of mind against it, stealing a portion of its resolve in order to better deflect incoming attacks. Ooh, this is nice. Resolve reflects a character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness, and the emotional intensity. Concentration and contributes to the will in deflection defenses. Okay, that's some kind of a defense from melee, maybe? Causes a recall agony. Causes the target to relieve the psychic trauma of an injury moments after experiencing the damage all over again. 30% of all damage reapplied. Holy shit. Versus will. Holy shit. 30% is something like execute that warriors have for a finishing spell. 30% is actually pretty much. Also psychic energy harmlessly of the target. Pierce damage, mind blades, slash damage. I think this, since it has big damage and recall agony. I had one spell when I was playing previously, and that spell also, when hit enemies, massively increased my focus. So I sure hope that this is the one, because that's OP as fuck, man. Let's hope this is it.
Yeah.
Let's explore a little. How much have we on the clock? We have 11 minutes
Right.
left.
I've got it. Finished.
Another book. That ring is useful, especially for me, since I will be tanking the damage until we get a proper tank. Something happened with the sound. Where is it? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we can see their souls. Like this hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked, as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Pet the dog. The dog tail thumps happily against the floorboards. I could use a good dog. Here, girl. Dog's ears perk up. It trots over to you and barks happily.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a new companion. Let's swap this digital pig for a black hound.
Yeah.
There he is. We have a dog, man. Very nice.
Yes?
I'll get it open.
I can unlock this.
Finished.
Padded armor, duelist hat, rapier, one-handed, speed fast.
Yeah.
More
Right.
lockpicks. This is obviously a gate to the outside. Okay. We can enter all also from here. Let's go back and then let's take a room or rest, and then we'll be on our way. This is the beginning of the game, so a lot of introductions, a lot of story, a lot of new things that can be skipped, but I wouldn't rather.
How do you do?
Like the room, please. We'll take this common room since we don't have some resources for the moment. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward like mouldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word: Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from the head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead.
Huh?
Okay, let's quick save and try to go to the tree. Caldara de Beranzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from the thin, crooked ball that sags at the top of her nose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the robe that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel someone that you can reach out and touch it, not with your hand, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman, and when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog. Her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
She gives you a motherly smile. I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
He smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Kadnua. Think I survived the bivouac. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I want to know something about you. Me?
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Okay, that's enough info for now.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Sigillum was granted Crucible of the Soul. Allah looks at you through narrow eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. This happens a lot, you'll have to get used to it. That's good to know, but I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about. I'm a watcher. His arch eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that is interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect that explains how you survived a bivouac, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Only that they're rare and they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, he coughs, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on. Okay, our main mission is to travel to Kednua. But the next step is probably gonna be to explore a little of the town, Gilded Vale, or place if you would call it that way. We have a dungeon here, I think it's some kind of a temple or something like that. Try to sell our equipment, to gain some extra gold, maybe gain another companion, this Eater, which would be a perfect choice for our fighter tank. And that's about it. We'll finish this episode for now. Nothing actually interesting happened, but a lot of new information and development of the main story. Okay, we saved. Okay, as I said this is going to be the end of episode 2, so thanks to anyone who watched and gave their support in forms of likes, subscribes, or any views as a matter, and we'll see each other soon in the 3rd episode. Until next time, pozdrav!